see what we're doing. Hey, there's a little red thing up top that says
Hey,
we're live. Hey, Facebook. Hey, we did it. We're on it. And we're looking in the right area. How awesome is that?
We got this.
And I even high-fived you left hand. This is
I'm
great.
left-handed too. This is amazing. Starting off good.
Great way to start it. So, I'm Elizabeth Struess. Welcome to our Facebook Live. I've got Sarah Clover here. She is an inspiration to me on so many levels. Her story is amazing. Her courage is breathtaking, and that's what I felt like when we went to breakfast. Let's just be really honest. So again, Facebook world, I'm Elizabeth Struess. You are inside our salon. We've been working, slinging hair all day because I work behind the chair just like you guys. I travel with Redken and I get to play and all that good stuff. Sorry, there's a really weird glare, so I'm going to be even weird.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's better.
So Sarah is this bubbly, positive inspiration, I think, to our whole team. Would you agree, Abby?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I totally threw her in under the bus on that one. She even poops rainbows. Like, there's days where I don't feel like, hey, I want to do this, and then Sarah walks in and say, yeah, I totally can. Yay. So, Sarah, 9 years in, you switched to Redken.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I used Redken when I first started out doing hair many years ago is what it feels like. And I did switch to a different salon and use another color line, but came back to Redken, and it just makes my heart happy. It is such a better color line. It's so simple. And as much as I beat myself up about it and got in my head so much when I first started, taking color authority, life-changing. Tara, Kyle, Rosa, Elizabeth was also a facilitator, and it just opened my mind to say, hey, stop overthinking. You've got this. Redken has so many options for color, and it's so easy to choose any color from any color line, and it fits perfectly for everyone. And so when you have that moment where you're just like, hey, wait a second, and then figure it all out, it's just mind-blowing. So I'm very happy to be back in a Redken salon, and that pH bonder is life-changing.
To die for.
Life-changing.
All right, so show us a little bit of love if you love pH bonder, or if you've ever sat at this color bar, well, not ours specifically, your color bar, and ever overthought something. Definitely, I want to see some likes. If you're ever sitting back there like, do I need 8AB, 8AB? And then you realize it's really a simple choice. Very just simple. Go back to the principles.
Yep,
right?
Very much the principles. And just acknowledging that, just take an extra second. Don't rush yourself. You'll figure it out much easier.
Yeah, and if you've got the support from the team world and the education, I think it makes it so much easier. So would you agree that a lot of our stuff here kind of went with your core beliefs?
It did. One of the things we actually talked about when I spoke with Elizabeth and what I wanted in my salon home was just somewhere that no matter who you were, what you chose, what you did in life, you fit in. You weren't judged for being different from someone else, and that was really important for me. I felt like I endured a lot of that because people would call and ask for the tattooed girl or something instead of my name. And so it was really important to find somewhere that I felt at home as well as my guests, and they never felt like they were out of place or someone was going to say something judgmental for them. And so that was huge for me.
I think that's a big thing we work on as a whole team here. Just in our salon, we believe anyone is welcome. We may not be for everybody, and that's okay too, but we want to make sure that you always feel comfortable, safe, and welcome here.
Agreed.
So with changing over your guests and changing over, you mentioned earlier that you changed their experience a little bit.
I did.
How was it to change their experience and cut your hours all at the same time?
I'm still in shock, I think, maybe, in a weird way, because it took me a while just to figure out what to do with my time. Going from 65 to 70 hours a week to half of that is mind-blowing. Not to mention that I actually made more money working half the amount of time. That's right, more money.
Okay, wait. Facebook world. This is Sarah Clover. If you're just checking in, I need you to hear what she just said. She worked less, made more, and her guests were happier. Whoa. I mean, you're going to have to back that up a little bit. To the T. One thing I realized switching here was that I didn't necessarily need more butts in my seat, but to spend more time with those people. I had gotten to a point in hair that I didn't want to do it anymore. It had stopped being a career. It started being a job that I dreaded every day. So for me, as a stylist, it was, what do you want to do? That is what you're booked for. That's all you're getting. I never offered additionals. I never offered that experience that they needed to be happy and fulfilled as a guest. So when I retrained my brain and realized I may have less time, but I can actually do more for these people, it exploded.
And it made such a world of difference. I mean, what we talked about, I worked 6 months last year at one place and then 6 months here. And in that time, I made $4,000 more, working half the amount of time. And it's mind-blowing that you can actually do that, because isn't that the dream in life? Work less, make more. And I think it's just made such a difference for my guests and having my full attention and my love now, because it is back to being a career and I'm passionate about it again.
I love watching your passion. I love watching you talk to your guests behind the chair. Like, you were talking to somebody earlier, and the key phrase you used was like, is that in your beauty budget? Like, is that safe for you? And I think that's a huge thing for us as hairdressers, is we need to have that communication.
I agree.
We need to be able to be as open with our guests as possible.
Exactly.
And I think when you don't get that chance and you do start shutting down with people, then you start thinking about working at Walmart.
I think one thing I mentioned to my boyfriend was Burger King was on my list, just because I would do anything instead of have to go in there and be at that chair for any amount of time. And that was heartbreaking. I mean, our meeting that day when I came to talk to you, I think I specifically told you I threw up in my mouth once.
Yep.
Because it was just mind-blowing, and that I had just lost all of my passion and creativity, and I stopped cooking, which you know I love. And so it's nice to have those feelings back and have time for myself that I didn't have before too.
Well, and I think it comes down to passion and courage. I mean, you made the comment about, like, we don't have to get real descriptive of eating breakfast, but just the idea of throwing up in her mouth because I told her that she could make more without gouging her guests, without creating extra stuff in their project. Like, we're not out to get people. And I think when I start talking money, sometimes that's what it feels like. So I love that Sarah agreed to meet with me today, because she can talk about what that feeling is and going the difference. There's a quote we've got that I really want you to share with them. Going the difference between being passionate and in a career versus butts and seats. I think that's what you talked about.
Seats,
and if you've ever heard me coaching, I do not allow butts and seats, because when you do that, you're exhausted, your guest feels it, and it's just not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form.
Agreed.
So tell me a little bit about the guest experience. What happened with that?
I think one of the big changes for me was, like we talked about, just giving them options for other things that they didn't even know that we had. I have some guests that, as scary as it was to offer these things that I had never offered them before, like, ate it up and loved every minute and now want those things. And it makes a world of difference when you are compassionate and you care for them and you want to give them these options. Even if they say no, no is okay. You won't die from no. It's okay if they tell you no. That's a hard one for everyone. Well, I don't want to say it because I don't want them to not want it. If you don't actually give these people options and your guests options for the things or products, you're kind of taking away everything from them, because you're telling them, oh, you don't deserve that, so I'm not going to option that to you. So that was a big thing, was just to be okay with letting go of someone's going to tell me no eventually, or maybe next time they'll say yes. And I feel like for me and my guests, that made a world of difference, that I was honest and being what's the word I'm looking for?
Experience-minded?
Experience-minded. I think I'll accept that one. That one's a good one. On what I just wanted them to have such a good experience while in the chair.
Yep. And I've heard you talk with your guests before. You do a lot of stuff based on principles. You do. It's not like, oh, you think your hair's great, so let me throw a chem shot on it. It's like, oh, no, you're dehydrated.
Right.
We need to be able to fix that. And being able to offer options. You know, a phrase that we use here, and I totally stole it from Heather Bagby, is no is a beautiful phrase. If I'm hearing no, then I know, no pun intended. You see what I did there? I know that I am giving my guest every chance to have the best experience that they choose to have. Not me. They choose to have.
Correct.
So if you guys have any questions based on any of this, we are watching your comments scroll up, and I just want to make sure that we are attentive. So if you have questions, drop them below. You can't even see where's my hand? There we go.
There it is.
Drop it below. I can't figure out. There we go. So make sure you hit us up with questions. We'll definitely be reading this afterwards. And we just came back from an amazing summer class. Hey, Dave Kirby and Daniel Mason-Jones.
You guys are amazing.
Our whole team is still absolutely digging you guys.
Beaming from it.
And, you know, proof is in the pudding. So just to put it out there, we did 22% RTS our first week back. We killed it. Our guests seem happier.
I agree.
Do you have anything you want to share from that class?
You know, the one thing I need to share the most, and I think this goes back into switching the salons and coming, was one thing to clarify. When I came here, I didn't work on a summit system. All of our prices were the same no matter who was doing the hair. So when I came here, I got kind of a pushback from people when I changed prices. I did it as nicely as I could and gave them options, but a lot of people pushed back on that. And also, like we touched a little earlier, I'm scheduled for a level jump coming up again. And one of my biggest fears that Elizabeth knows is going through that price change again after such a quick time. One thing from Dave Kirby that just was like, oh, was when you have those guests that push back so hard, they don't view you as their service provider. They view you as a servant. And I spent so many years being that servant that the fear of having to tell someone their prices changed was excruciating to me. The fear of losing people, even worse. I mean, terrified, like, you can't leave me. I will charge you nothing if you continue to come to me. And that's a big problem because that pushed me into servant. And then I viewed myself as that. And your self-worth shouldn't be viewed on that in any way. No. And so that was a big epiphany and aha moment for me. And I know now that those people who have no problem with coming with you and changing and growing with you, view you as a person, that their time is important, and they appreciate the things that you do, and they want to be there with you on that journey. And so it was really a hard moment to just be like, hey, it's okay. It's okay if you don't want to be my guest. I will send you to someone that will work just fine for you. And just accepting that it doesn't change my self-worth if someone doesn't want to see me because my prices have raised.
I think that was a huge part for my journey too.
It's huge.
I think that's something that when you decide that this is a career and what you're after is the guest experience, it almost makes it easier to be able to say that you are genuine behind the chair, you're genuine in what you're offering. So if they say no, it's not anything to do with my heart, it has nothing to do with my brain, it has nothing to do with who I am, it just has to do with what you're comfortable with. And if that's the case, the beautiful thing about having a level system is I can match somebody to your personality.
Exactly.
And your beauty budget.
Exactly.
I mean, we're able to really go into a different conversation. And I think that's where the world is going now. People can research, people can Google, they know what the different things are.
Yes.
So now I know that I have a better experience and I'm able to be honest with you. I think that's absolutely huge.
It makes a huge thing. And one thing I've realized lately is that when you are okay and you can let go of those people that are pushing against you and viewing that, it opens your chair to the people you want and need in your chair. And so that is a huge thing for me because now I notice all of these people that I'm like, oh, I wish I had more of them. I'm getting more of them because now I have space for them. And I was able to let go of the people that weren't satisfied with my prices changing, color line changing, because that happens. It happens. And now I have this great new group of guests that I'm so excited to have and grow with. So
yeah, and I think your guests have noticed experience as well. Like, talk about our team a little bit, because you brought that up, and let's be really honest, I'm 100% transparent. We totally did a run through earlier because we were petrified. So earlier you had mentioned a little bit about your belief system, the team experience, and why you came here and what our team has done for you and what you've done for our team.
First and foremost, I don't know what a team is until I actually came here. I was so used to doing everything myself and helping other people, but not feeling that back. One of the weird things for me when I first started was people saying, hey, can I help you blow dry? And I'm just like, what? What do you mean? You want to help me? And so being a team and being in this salon is amazing because one, everyone is very open and honest with each other, which is a huge thing. And everyone is so willing to jump in and help you no matter what. I had an incident where I had to leave this past week and wasn't able to make it in on Saturday. And I know all of my guests were taken care of completely because our team is so good about that. And knowing that if there's something that comes up, I have support in this family to say, no, go take care of yourself and do what you need to because we've got your back. That wasn't something I had before, and it's not something I've had for a long time. So that was really, it's like making me tear up because it's
really hard for me not to
so,
tear up.
Yeah, it was so important to have just someone on your side and on your back who knows what you're going through and is always there to help you. And that is this team. And everyone is so diverse and different that you're just comfortable, like, and everyone just says, I just love it. It's hard to even get it out.
I love that you get so giddy about it. Like, you just light up.
I do. I love it.
Well, and that's a big thing. Let's go back to this breakfast that we had. It all changed with breakfast at Harbaugh's, an amazing local place.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it started with an honest conversation of, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I'm ready. This is a lot of changes. And be honest, you said, I don't know if I have the courage.
No.
And I said, cool, I have 6 other people that have been in your shoes. They want to hold your hand. They want to have your back. They want to be a part of it with you. Now we've grown our team to like 11.
Yeah, we have
in
quite
6
a bit
months.
now, yeah.
And I love watching you pass down all of those things to the rest of your team. I think it just makes it amazing to see all the different levels be cohesive. No one's better than anybody else. I'm a 4AA. You're about to be a 4. We've got Abby listening in around the corner. She's about to be a level 2.
She's going to jump way faster than that, too.
Look forward in a few weeks. We're totally going to have Abby on here to talk about going from an associate level 1 to a level 2 in 6 months, guys.
Short amount of time.
6 months. She did it. And she's not even from around here. So look forward to that. Next week, we've got Megan. You want to give a little rah-rah to Megan?
Megan! That's my work wife. We work all the time together. I love it. Can I say one more thing about the teamwork thing and the courage to actually change? Because it was hard for me. I don't know why it's so scary to change and make a decision for your life. But what I feel like now is that I stood behind me on a cliff, shoved myself off, and this team was my parachute. And that was like super. I don't cry. You're gonna make me cry. But it really did. It's amazing because if I hadn't had this support group to say, hey, it's okay. You're gonna lose people. You're gonna find new people. You're gonna go through a rocky road, and it's gonna be fine. Huge.
So a big thing that we're talking about on here in the different weeks is failure.
Yeah.
And you had spoken earlier something that you're like, I don't have any one thing that was really failure, but just not believing in
myself. That's been my biggest failure is not believing in myself and believing that I deserve the world. And so when I changed that is when I started to say, hey, you know what? I'm okay with this. I deserve to grow and be better, and I deserve to have less time at work and more time for myself, and to level jump and just do better for myself. Instead of being stagnant and stuck somewhere, I want to grow. And it took a lot, and it was hard. You saw it, but I couldn't be happier.
That's amazing to hear you say that. And in being part of our team, it's like, it's not just about us being a team and helping each other. It's about a quality of life. I've watched Sarah actually get to cook again. I've watched her talking to her guests in ways that she hasn't. And being able to know that we were a lifeline and a parachute for you means I'm going to go home and cry after
Okay, it's fine. I'm like working on it. It's not happening too bad.
But if there's anybody listening right now, they're on our Facebook Live, or they're going to share it with somebody that needs to hear this, what would you tell them about having to take that leap?
Just do it. It's okay. It's okay to do it because there's two things that's going to happen. You may fall on your butt. You'll get back up. You may feel like you failed in something, but you haven't. It's going to take a lot of courage, and the courage comes from you. It's the best if you have a really good support system because you'll need it. But really, just take the leap. You only get one life. Why live for tomorrow when you should live today? Is really what's the most important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love
it's
everything
true,
about
yeah.
that. No, it's true.
Don't wait for then, do it now.
But I think you hear a lot of people like Tony Robbins who are like way up here say stuff like that, and you're over there like,
yeah, okay, Tony, go jump in that water, Tony.
Yep, exactly. So being able to hear that from you, I think, is potent, and please, guys, if you've got somebody that needs to hear that, share this so that they can see it too. We want the world to believe in themselves.
Yes, that is so important.
That's our 100% intention for today, is being able to do that. Now, I do know we've got a couple of people watching that had posted some questions beforehand, so I want to touch base.
Okay, look.
Is it real?
We're going to take it down,
Let's talk about it.
This is indeed my gray hair. This goes straight from my head. I do color the rest of my hair, but my gray strip is me. It's just how it happened.
And we love it. And
yes.
we love that you enjoy it and you've made it a part of you.
It is my excitement. I've gotten a little bit older and I've slowed down on the crazy hair colors. I used to do a lot of fun stuff, but this will always, yours is beautiful, girl.
I'm totally older than you. But
it's like a small amount. So this is my fun spot though, and I love it. So yes, that is growing straight from my head.
And I hope I also answered why she inspired me, and I hope you guys can see through this video how inspirational and amazing she is. I can't wait to check back in with her in a few months so we can show how much more she's grown, what other gems she has. And like I said, we've got Megan next week. Megan is already a level 3 in 2 years.
2 years. We're on the same level.
And she also did Color Authority. You guys are looking at going to the New York Exchange this year?
We are. We're doing Exchange and Color Cert. And another thing coming up in May, too.
The associate program in May, because we're thinking that they're going to be ready for associates by the end of the year. Going for it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Again, I'm Elizabeth Struess. This is Sarah Clover from little Carbondale, Illinois. We appreciate your time. I hope you have a beautiful day.